If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause it's.
Shalom, shalom, family. Shalom. Happy Feast of Tabernacles. Who ready for it? All praises. I know I am. I know the kids are, right? Kids, y'all ready for Tabernacles or what? All praises. Let's go ahead and get it in, family. I'm not going to keep you too long, most high willing. Let's go and open up with Leviticus 23. For those that, perhaps first time, those are, viewing us this evening, let's get the understanding real quick, and then we're going to go on with the lesson. So Leviticus 23:39.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse 39. Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days.
Exactly. So today is the 14th. The even already came in, so that makes it the 15th. Because I know that'd be a question every now and then, right? 14 going into the 15th. That even. We're living it right now. So we on the 7th month, 15th day, and it is a Sabbath to the Most High. Go ahead.
On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
So again, no work. No matter of work. No manner of work tomorrow. No manner of work as of right now. All right? So for all my people viewing, tuning in, and if you have questions within the building, within our, congregation, there is no work. It's a Sabbath unto the Most High. Continue.
And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year.
He said, you shall what?
Ye shall keep it a feast.
Before that, right before that.
And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
That's the part that we got to focus on. Because a lot of times it becomes dreadful for us to do these things, right? Especially tabernacles. I know sometimes tabernacles is something that we want to skip. We don't want to be inconvenienced, right? Man, again, these conversations I had with brothers, right? And going into and seeing exactly what the Most High requires of us is plain and clear. It's in these scriptures. But a lot of times we go ahead and, want to do it our own way. Want to take the easy route. The Most High said, look, these 7 days you are supposed to enjoy them with the congregation, with the people that you have around you. Because like I said earlier, it's a blessing to have people that you could actually count on. Brothers and sisters that that you have proven that they do keep these laws and these statutes. That's why it's not a light thing when one of us transgresses, or if we, come up short, we got to, make sure that we address that. It's not a light thing, family. Again, this goes out to every single one of us out here. Because it's not fair for us to be out here doing our best, and then some of us are coming up short just because we want to be ignorant. Because that's really what it is at the end of the day. We do not look out for ourselves as much as we should be. Right? So the Most High said, make sure you rejoice for these 7 days. You go ahead and build these tents, right? I know right now we're going to set up tents. Certain tents, right? But when you read the details of these scriptures, Lord willing in the future, And I know perhaps, out of the U.S., I'm pretty sure my brothers and sisters out, in the countries outside of here, they're doing exactly what the Most High is telling you right here. With certain branches, with certain, palm tree pieces and stuff like that. Because it was something I'm glad, the brothers have taken that upon them to even have a competition, to even have a righteous competition, because that's what it should be about. I'm looking at everybody right now, particular in their own way, right? But righteous. That's beautiful. That's what it takes for us to really be locked into these laws, for us to really have that spirit that the Most High requires of us. But go ahead.
Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord.
So it's not something we just do, right? Because we, just go ahead and copy the rest of the people because leadership said. No, the Most High says, listen, this is so your generations may understand and recall and remember that I made them to dwell in booths, a nomadic people. We were, how long was the mission supposed to take us? From Egypt to it's not 40 years, family. Days. It's not 40 years, family. We used to go back and forth. We even brought the body of our forefather back and forth and stuff like that. We did a gang of missions to Canaan from Egypt and back, right? 40 years. That's the point of this evening's lesson. Why 40 years? Right? We've been here 400 years. Actually more now. And in Babylon, we did 70. It's always a sentence, nothing new under the sun. But we stretch out that sentence. A lot of us. Because one thing, the Most High made the promise. He kept every single piece of that promise he's kept. Right? But as we go into the lesson, you're going to see why don't we believe the Most High? How come we don't trust in the Most High as we should, right? So, again, the mission, kids, young ones, elders, is for us to recall that the Most High had us dwelling in booths en route to Canaan, en route to the promised land, right? So think about it. It's a little inconvenient. Plus, we were in the wilderness, right? But what is it that the Most High said he was going to do with us to prove us? Isaiah 48:10, right? Through affliction. But a lot of times we make our affliction or the affliction worse than what it really is. Because the scriptures in the New Testament said, take it with gladness. Smile, right? You see our grandparents, for example, even some of our parents, they went through it. Minimum wage, limited. But you rarely saw them, expressing that. They always had a lively spirit about them. And that had the house on point, you know what? I don't know, but mama makes it happen. My mom always holds it down. Because imagine your mom or your parents come through and are constantly telling you about all the things that they're experiencing. Man, it makes you not want to live. Makes you doubt and makes you ask yourself, why? Why me, Lord? But that's the whole point. The Most High, imagine, he already promised us. He promised all these things unto us. Why do we doubt, right? It's us. We are the issue. So let's go ahead. Let's go from there. But again, the first day is a Sabbath, and we dwell in booths for 7 days. The 8th day is a Sabbath. You don't need to dwell in booths on the 8th, but it's the great day. So the first, today, and 8 days from now, they're Sabbaths, all right? So let's go from there. Let's get, let me get Numbers 13, 17. I'm pretty sure we're familiar, right, with the things that happen in the wilderness. No? My brother said no. Are we? Are we not? The murmuring, the complaining. Man, the unbelief, the disrespect towards authority, right? Idolatry, a big one. But think about it. Because I'm not going to go into all of that this evening. But just recall all the plagues, right, all the miracles that the Most High had Israel witness in Egypt. And immediately, as soon as we go en route, right down the street, we forgot about these things. How is that? How can we? Why would we? But again, that's Israel, stiff-necked people, hard-headed. And you already know the results of that. We were talking with the elder right now. You know, it's between 3 and 6 million people that died. Only 2 made it out of there, right? Last week we went into the shepherds, the wicked shepherds. And you look also as far as Moses. I didn't touch on Hebrews 13 and Romans 13. It talks to you about how the people are supposed to go hand in hand, go twain with the leaders. You know, the kids are supposed to go twain with the parents. Congregation go twain with the government. Because you look at Moses, imagine all that Moses did for our people. Then he smacked the rock, right? And what happened because of that to our, dear Moses? He didn't make it. You know, Aaron as well. Aaron slipped up before Moses because the people had that condition that they had picked up in Egypt overpowered them, right? And made Aaron, the priest, build a calf. While Moses is up the way talking to Yahweh. So again, my point is, if we were that close and we still had doubt, nowadays, imagine how far we are, right? But at the same time, we have more to prove to the Most High, and he also looks at us and deals with us in a little different of a way, because imagine, we haven't seen none of this, but yet we here. And that's the point. I hope and I pray to the Most High that every single one of us here tonight endures until the end. You know, look out for each other, Israel. It's not a light thing, but let's go ahead. Let's get Numbers 13. 17.
The book of Numbers, chapter 13, and verse 17. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up this way southward, and go into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and what cities they be that they dwell in, whether in tents or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not. And be ye of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rahab, as men come to Hamath. And they ascended by the south and came unto Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. And they came unto the brook of Eshol, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it between 2 upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. The place was called the brook of Eshol, because the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence. And they returned from the searching of the land after 40 days.
Go ahead.
And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, We came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey.
Look at that. And what?
And surely it floweth with milk and honey.
Why wouldn't it? The promise was set, right? So they went on this mission. They surveyed the land. They seen, right, that these people lived there, these giants. But everything that the Most High had promised, everything was there. Everything checked out. So it's like, surely, go ahead.
Surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless,
Here comes the buts, though. Here comes the buts. Nevertheless, always, right? But, I hear you. I know this, but, go ahead.
Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land.
Go ahead.
And the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwelled in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan.
All right, so hold that. Let's go to Exodus right quick. Ain't it a trip how, like, imagine, we have Moses leading the pack, right? Leading the congregation. We just came out of Egypt. You don't think these stories were being passed down to our people? Of the promises that you read about in Genesis, what is it, 17? All these things. So then it's like, man, imagine you right now. Okay, this is what the land's gonna look like. And you're right there. You're one of the 40. You're like, man, all right, cool. Everything's there, Abba. The water. Let me go back with this report. How would you go back? What type of report and what type of attitude would you bring to the camp, to the people? Everybody different, right? I'd be excited. I think most of us, I would think, would be excited. You know, because it's like, man, confirmation after confirmation. You're witnessing one thing, boom, it checked out. The Most High didn't fail you. And here comes another one. Here comes another one. I think this is like after 2 years. I didn't go into that. 11 talks about after 2 years, the second year, they keep the Passover in the wilderness, right? And chapter 10, the Most High gears them up for war. That's where, you know, he assigns the trumpet and what type of calls, the formation on how the people are supposed to form and march. So he's letting them know how they, you know, Israel's supposed to be that army and how is it that they're supposed to move. When you look at stories about, who would it be? Hannibal, for example, right? You guys know about Hannibal? Right? So you see how he moved, how the Romans had to study this brother to take him down. He was moving through the Alps, which is some big mountains, right? Freezing conditions, mobbing in elephants. But nobody could take this brother down until they studied him for a minute. So the Most High is showing us how to do these things. Plus, he's with us. Brothers just witnessed Egypt get wiped away. All the firstborn. All the plagues that the Most High hit them with and spared us. But also at the same time, he said, look, those that don't have this blood on the posts of their households, they're going to get wiped away as well. So understanding the seriousness of the Most High, look at this report, right? We're not done with it yet, but let's go ahead and get Exodus right quick. Right? Let me get, I think, I said 3, right? Salakia. Go ahead and get 3 and 6, Salakia.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land unto a good land, and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites.
There it is. Israel was crying, right? You read chapter 1, you see what happened. And before that, it's beautiful to see the brother Joseph. It's like, how do you forget about Joseph? We years away from this, right? But imagine you're just a couple generations away from Jacob, from Dan, from Ephraim, from Benjamin, all these brothers. And you know, you just came out, you're actually in the place, and you're like, damn, back in the day, we were solid. Before this last Pharaoh, it's like saying, you know, what was the last dude? Biden? Under Biden, man, we was straight. Trump comes in, and you're right here just completely forgetting everything. The Most High through Joseph, we were in the Delta, in Goshen, the most fertile land of Egypt. To the point that these taskmasters had to set these things upon us because they were afraid that if we went to war, if war popped off, that we would take over. So you're witnessing these things, right? You lived them. Perhaps your great-granddaddy lived them. But it's not too far from grandpa to, your pops and then you. And then the Most High just said, look, this is the land, because I'm hearing your cry, right? It's under it's a different Pharaoh ruling now, right? And this Pharaoh is afraid, so therefore he's setting task upon you. Rigor, going back to why we keep Pesach, right? Why we eat and partake of the bitter herbs. Everything has a significance. So it's like, since I hear that, Moses, go ahead. You're going to lead them out. Moses right here, he shook like, man, this is the Most High talking to me. He's like, yeah. And guess what? This is your mission. And this is the land that I promised them. And he's already telling us, right, if we're going into the land of Canaan, and we already know who inhabits the land of Canaan, obviously, it's going to be some war. It's going to be a way. We're going to take it, just like, we're going to take the kingdom is what it says in the last days, right? Go ahead, Art.
Verse 7, and the Lord said, actually verse 8, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them.
Come on, look at that. It's plain and simple. I mean, clear, right? He said, look, this is what it's going to be, and this is who you obviously have to go against, because they're the ones that dwell in that land. So how do we forget from Exodus 3 to a couple of generations, not even generations, probably still within the same generation? Because it's Moses rolling with them. It's the same generation. Moses was what, 80 at this time? Moses, the same Moses that had to go and hide because he was looking out for his people, right? But the point here is, remember, brothers be like, okay, how is it that this is Egypt? This is modern day Egypt, right? If you look at everything, there's modern day Egypt, Sodom, Gomorrah, right? Babylon, everything all put in one, right? So if we had it that difficult in Egypt, imagine how difficult we have it now in this present day. Whenever you get a chance, read Leviticus 18. Leviticus 18 is going to show us the sickness that these Hamites used to, practice. And our people, Israel, also were partaking of these things. That's why the Most High was like, look, if you don't get it together, you can't be within, my quarters. That's why he even broke down things, and this is what I want brothers and sisters to focus on this week, Lord willing, as we out there camping. Take everything a little more serious, right? You hear the deacons tell you things, adhere to them. You hear leadership tell you things, adhere to them. Kids, listen to the parents, to your elders, even amongst you brothers, to other kids that are trying to, give you reason, that righteous reasoning. Because as soon as the scripture says, do everything decently and in order, right? Israel loves to be chaotic. Israel easily goes the easy way, right? Let's just do this. And then we got to double back and fix things. If we're even able to do things, again. Because a lot of these things, man, the Most High said, you know what? I'm going to give you another chance. Nope, that was it. You're done. He actually gave us 9 chances in the wilderness. After the 10th one, he was like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. He started opening the ground and swallowing people up. By the thousands. By the thousands, right? It says, I think, like I said, it's between 3 and 6 million, I think. You read, I think it was 17,000 one of the times, right? Yeah. Yup. Imagine that. Not imagine. Think about that. Think about that, for real, because it's a reality. It's a fact. Look these things up. Like I was saying, the mission from Egypt to Canaan is not 40 years. If you guys don't know why that happened, we'll know this evening. And again, once we're in that camp, Lord willing, most of us are able to make it out there, if not all of us. Think about that. Set yourself on the side. Look up. Look at that bright moon, right? Look at these stars that the Most High blesses us with. We'd be up there as, the male's been up there, and it's like, man, we see chariots. Brothers pull out their apps. It's like, man, look, is this constellation? They're going from this to that constellation. I wonder why. Meditate. We start making conclusions, coming up with conclusions, but it's like, man, the Most High is beautiful. We're so disconnected out here in the city, but that was the plan. That's been the plan. We were never meant to be in places like this. Yes, we have cities, but not laid out like this. This is a trap. That's Egypt. Egypt was a trap, right? So let me get, I want this right here. Now go back, actually, where we left off, yes.
Numbers chapter 13 and verse 29. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
You hear that? One brother spoke up and said, look, let's go, let's do this. We are what? Read that again, Ike?
We are able to
read that again.
It says, for we are well able.
Well able. Able is one thing. Well able? It's a big difference, right? Mm-hmm. We are, exactly, more than capable. Easy, light work. Right? He was like, man, what y'all talking about? Because mind you, it was one member of each tribe that went forth to go and survey this land for 40 days, right? But when you read 27, and they told him, read 27 again.
And they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great, and moreover we saw the children of Anak there.
So imagine Caleb in the background just listening, all right? So where are you going with this? Where are these brothers going with this? They didn't continue to say anything about, all right, let's go take over. So he came through, read 30 again.
And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
Still meaning he told the people to be quiet. He was like, look, listen, we are well able. Let's go handle this. This is the promise that we just read about in Exodus chapter 3. That when we cried, our forefathers cried, the Most High came through and told Moses, listen, you're going to be the leader, and I'm going to make my people go and, take over this land. That he had already promised in Genesis to Abram. Again, this goes for us. We them right now. How much do we believe this right now, right? Because a lot of the ways we move, a lot of the actions that we partake of, because it all comes from the mind, right? We are them people that got, that didn't make it through a lot of the times throughout our lives. So we got to be on that spirit. We got to be like Caleb spiritually. Like, you know what? It's a light thing. Let's go ahead, handle it. We got to make a way. Our people always made a way, right? Remember the story with Judas? Was it Judas? Yeah, the hammer, right? And he made up the story about the sword with Jeremiah. Jeremiah had given him the sword, right? The brothers right before that, they're like, man, that's it. We done. Let's just give up. The way he brought that forth to them, they were like, you know what? Let's die. If we're going to die, we're going to die. But let's go ahead. Let's fight. And they went up. They got up valiantly and, fought for the Most High, fought for his laws, fought for the people, and came out victorious. You look at Simon, the same thing. He was able to bring peace to Israel. You look at the shepherd, right? The great shepherd David. What did he do? Man, he looked at the brothers, was like, what's wrong with you? And he was out here clowning the Philistines in front of their faces. Right? Goliath is like, man, what's this little dude gonna do? Banked him, took him out. Right? But that's the spirit that we gotta have. We gotta really embrace that. Yasharala, Prince of Power, and that's our pops. And you see it. I mean, you saw the clip that the bishop showed you last Saturday. That should make you be on some like, you know what? I'm not going to fail. Abba, please help me. Yahweh Shai, please help me. I gotta make it. I keep a black book in my mind. When things happen in my mind, in my life, I'm like, you know what, Abba, please, let me do right. I want vengeance over these individuals, that righteous vengeance. That's the Most High says that's the greatest pleasure a man could have. See his enemy fall, yes. Y'all don't want to see that? Because I'm looking at this, right? Somebody asked me after class, like, how do you feel about that? How do you think I feel about that? Look up the Inquisition. I told a couple brothers and sisters, look up the devastation of the Indies. It's actually on Spotify. I just seen it today. No, my bad. That's Babylon Timbuktu. But look it up. It's a free PDF. And you could just look up and search the Inquisition. Because remember, the war's always been up here to keep Israel divided. Blacks against browns, the Willie Lynch. I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but it's been used. The light against the dark, short versus the short, classes, right? It's always been the same thing. My point with that is, how you going to see that? How you going to know that happened to your people and still be, but what about the other nations? Or more like, what about Esau? Always. Remember these things, Israel. When we out there, remember these things. When you out there on your, on your daily missions, remember these things. You got to completely lock in and separate from Babylon, separate from Egypt. Right? Continue up.
Verse 30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched. They brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature.
Man, a bunch of BS. Putting all the extras on it, right? Sure. Oh, we saw giants. They was out here just swallowing people up, chewing them up, spitting them out. The hell? Like, again, you just witnessed these miracles. You just saw one of the most dominant people get put out. Egypt was out there being it was a world power back at that time, right? And he saw the Most High just come through and wipe them away, wipe them down. Wipe them out and do all the great wonders that he did for our people. Imagine taking out every firstborn in one night. Man, and no, really though, let that really, man, you're here right now and you see every single one of your enemies, all their firstborns are put to death in one night. And you wake up and you just see bodies left and right.
Well, more than waking up, you heard it. It said the whole city was crying.
But now you come out, because remember, you couldn't come out of your, the house that you were partaking in, but now you walk out. You seen bodies. I know you see bodies on, in the hood, maybe one, two, a couple, but now imagine thousands in every single household of your enemies. Not your people, your enemies. Man. Let that sink in, and then we hear, oh no, this land, we're unable to go and take it because this and this and this is happening. Is again perspective, because we do that all the time. Nah, you know what? I don't know. Somebody says something. Somebody has a vision. You out here listening like, man, that guy crazy. That Jake, he tripping. That's never gonna happen. Why do we need to do that? I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at right now. I had these dreams. I had these goals. But what did the Most High lay out? A lot of our people, when you see it, when they came out of Egypt, down the way, 2 years in, a couple of months in, they were like, man, can we go back? You brought us out here to die? We could have just died in Egypt. And they were being scandalous the way they were saying things to Moses. And this is the things you got to really meditate on when you're about to say something. Even when you think it, right? When you think it, you got to process it. Be like, is this a righteous thought? or is this an evil thought? Is this of the Most High, or is this of the opposition? And put it in submission if it's of the other side. If it's of the Most High says, look, there's no law against doing righteousness. Do as much as you can. And it's beautiful. Again, I really mean that when you have people that you could count on. I was talking to the elder right now, and I'm like, I call it crazy, but that's not really what it is. The timing of the Most High. The people that you come across, the things that you hear, the scriptures that you open, the people that call you. It's beautiful. It's beautiful and it's scary at the same time. And that's why, like, regardless how you feeling, my brother said, put your pride away. I'm like, I don't have pride. But then you meditate, like, you know what? Maybe it is a little bit of pride. Put it completely away. Just toss it. And again, you meditate on that. It's like, nah, I'm not a prideful individual, but there's certain things that you got to meditate on and really see, like, okay, how will Yahweh Shai deal with this? One of the things that comes to mind is, remember that sister that had all these men? Yet she claimed that she didn't have no husbands, right? And everybody was ready to stone her. Yahweh Shai said, hey, he that has no sin, go ahead and cast the first stone, right? While he was just chilling. He looked back, he's like, oh, you still alive? What happened? Everybody in their mind was like, oh, nah, we can't do that. Let's get it right. Let's get it together. So then it's like, all right, Yahweh Shai, you got to see the way that Yahweh Shai was operating. That mercy, that merciful spirit, but then that also dies. It runs out. Because Sirach tells you that. Don't think that, oh, you know what? Most High is merciful. I could do whatever I want. Nah, it's not like that. But on your end, you got to be that light. You need to walk with wisdom to those that are without. Always. No matter how you feel, no matter how exhausted you are, no matter how many times things have happened, if there's still hope for those individuals to make it back, you got to consider it. A brother recently said, who am I? We were talking about a situation. The brother's response was like, man, who am I? A lot of times we think we somebody, though. Yeah. Who are we? Again, the Most High said through the New Testament, it was talking about the other brother that was pardoned, right, from his Lord. And then he goes ahead and is like, nah, you know what, you got to pay me. Immediately we forget, that's Israel coming out of Egypt. All right, we cried out, we got the help, we got the promises. Now we en route to the promised land, and all we filled is with nothing but doubt. We're filled with doubt. We out here complaining. Imagine you out here on a chariot complaining en route to Israel, to the promised land. Think about it, though. You got to look at it like that. That's what Israel was doing. The earth swallowing you up, the Most High was like, all right, toss you out that chariot. Peace. Burn in Babylon. But this is the mission that we on. Every time we go backwards, that's what happens. Anytime that we go and revert back to the old ways, the old man, the old woman, that's what we're doing. And we don't know when then chances are going to run out, because the mercy is of the Most High. All right? Let me get this right quick. Read that last verse again, Art.
Verse 33. Or you want 32? Verse 32.
Let's see. 31. No, yeah, 32, Salakia.
And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
Mm-hmm. So let's get Esther now. Let's get Esther 14 and 5. Yes. The rest of Esther is right after Judith. Yes, sir. It's a beautiful thing when you actually meditate and read these scriptures and travel. Let your mind go to these places. Be with these individuals, right? Because that's the only way you're really going to understand where our brothers and sisters are coming from. Look at what the sister said right here. 14 and 5, please.
The book of Esther, chapter 14 and verse 5. From my youth up, I have heard in the tribe of my family that thou, O Lord, tookest Israel from among all people, and our fathers from all their predecessors, for a perpetual inheritance, and thou hast performed whatsoever thou didst promise them.
Look at that. This is what we got to remember. The conversations that we have with our kids, with our wives, husbands, whatever, right? Our people, us. Man, you know what? From the youth up. You young ones in here, from the youth up, my pops always told me, man, we always read about Israel. We always read about Yahweh and how he never forsook anyone that was righteous. This is how the sister Esther was like, man, you know what? Because we always facing our adversaries, right? We always going through trials and tribulations. Our great ancestors were like, you know what? I know what to do. We know exactly what to do. Let's go ahead and pray and fast and cry out to the Most High. Because that's what we did in the book of Exodus. He said, I heard your cries, and guess what? I'm going to go ahead and recompense you. I'm going to bring you into that promised land. Moses, you're fit. Go ahead. Let's get it. Esther said the same thing right here. Man, from among all people and our forefathers from all their predecessors for a perpetual, infinite inheritance. But you read Jeremiah 17, right? 17:4, he says, man, I will discontinue. Look, this is not for you no more. This will that I wrote, man, I'm canceling it. This promised land is not for you. So why are we here stressing over things that really don't mean anything, right? Romans 8:18, it says, listen, for the things that you're going through right now, they cannot be compared with what the Most High is going to bless you with in the future, if you do it right. All praises. Read 6, huh?
And now we have sinned before thee, therefore hast thou given us into the hands of our enemies.
That sounds like Judith, right? Judith, what is that, chapter, what is that, 17? Judith 8, whatever that is. But Psalms 105, you know? Yep. What was her name, Rahab, her story? All throughout the scriptures, our people understood that. Righteous Israelites knew that, and the other nations knew that. They still know that till this day. That's why they put all this, all these abominable ingredients in your food. That's why they put, they go ahead out here and program you a certain way. We've been programmed, Israel. We've been programmed not to believe and trust in the Most High. And that, we got to get away from that. We need to go back and really tune in, get in the frequency that the Most High has set for us, right? That frequency that's going to get us to that promised land, that's going to allow us not to ever doubt, right? So, man, this sister right here said, from my youth. And that's the point. These brothers had the same thing from their youth. From their youth, they were right there. They witnessed Joseph save the world. Because remember, if it wouldn't have been for Joseph, everyone would have been wiped away. I don't know, man. It just hits. Because you think about, damn, okay, they tried to put him out, his own brothers, and he was the one that came through and saved him at the end. My thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. Really let that sink in, though. When you feel like, you know what, I don't want to do this because really I don't feel like it. Really, the hell with how you feel. If you want to go that route, well, then guess what? Don't be surprised when the Most High is bringing judgment to you and your loved ones. Because a lot of times you won't face it yourself, but your loved ones are going to see it. I was talking to Yashimai this morning. I'm like, man, I was reading Esdras, and it was like when Esdras was going back and forth, and the story about the lady that he came across that had lost her son. And then the angel breaks it down, right? He's like, those 38 years that she was barren, it was those 38 years, right, that there was no temple for the Most High. You go back and read it. I think it's like chapter 14, I believe it is. But when you think about it, like sometimes we think we're doing right for the Most High, and we're not. Right? We're not fully, and we, he brought up the Nehemiah 8. It was like, of course, they were holding down tabernacles and everything, but how were they holding these feasts down? A lot of us, we be here. We show up upset, right? We show up with a mediocre spirit, but expect all the blessings. And then we upset throughout our weeks and months and years of why things continue to go wrong. No, they're not going wrong. They're going the way they're supposed to be going. Because your lack of faith, your lack of effort, your lack of works, your lack of sacrifice, exactly. It's what you sow. You reap what you sow. It's lovely, man. I was talking to another brother today. It's like lovely to be in the knowing that you're sacrificing and you're partaking of your sacrifices. Because that's one thing you can't forget. Anything and everything you put forth, you're going to get back. Whether it's righteous or whether it's wicked. And we out here trying to be blessed, right? Try to set ourselves and get ourselves to a certain status. Joshua 1:8, the answer's right here. You want success, just do this. Keep these laws, keep these statutes, and everything's going to be straight. All right? And that's another great brother right there, Joshua. Let's get, I said I'm not going to keep you long. It's a lot I can talk to. A little too much sometimes, but let's get, let me get 2nd Ezra 14:14.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature.
Right? That's what Caleb was hitting them with. What's wrong with you? Really? Man. Right? Get rid. Let those mortal thoughts go away. Get rid of them. Put off that weak nature. In that same chapter that I was telling you guys about, who is it, Uriel, I think? The angel that was dealing with Esdras. He's like, man, stand up manfully. Esdras right here is like, man, I'm out here tripping out. He's like, man, stand up manfully. You see the same thing in the Maccabees. Stand up valiantly. Sister in the 7th chapter, that manly stomach. No weak nature in Israel. Any Israelite that's going to make it is not to have any weak nature. That's one thing you got to really let sink in. So when you out there, when you out and about on your daily, you got to understand, like, nah, you know what? I am a descendant of the Prince of Power. So I got to move a certain way. I can't show no weakness. And how do you do that? By staying steady to these scriptures, staying steadfast to these scriptures. I look at, some of the young sisters and young brothers' spirits. I'm like, man, I'm looking at elders sometimes. They babies. They're probably not even 2. But the way their demeanor is like, man, I don't know who we going to be. He going to be a serious brother, a serious sister, And you think the same spirit, that person, those individuals will have the same spirit if they were out there in the world? You see the kids out in the world. They bad. They don't know about no discipline. They don't know about any judgment. So again, take it serious, Israel. Put off that weak nature whenever that doubt kicks in. Let's get James 1:6. Yes, sir.
The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Another point. When we ask of the Most High, when we ask Him for things, make sure you really believe what you want, what you're asking for, that you want what you're asking for. Because trust me, He'll give it to you. You'd be like, man, I was just kidding. No, you should have chilled. You should have, because a lot of times we be thinking things and they be happening and you'd be like, oh, I didn't really mean that though. Well, then you should have controlled your thoughts because at that time you were passionate about them. In this, the scriptures, I think it's Esdras, it says, man, make sure you plan out what you ask the Most High before you do so. Really get it in order. And if you know it's not something that's right, don't do it because the Most High will give it to you. But let's go back to Numbers. I'm bringing up that scripture in regards to what these brothers' response is going to be. Let me get, keep going where you were at.
Come. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 14, verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore hath the Lord brought us unto his land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? And they said one to another, let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt.
You see that? Pathetic, right? That's how we be sometimes. Let me go back to the world. I really miss this. You do about what when you out here dealing with certain people. Nah, you know what? I can't make it because I'm dealing with the homies. Tabernacles, you know what? I have a certain, I already had plans with my friends from work. Really? True stories, though. You know what? No, I'm going to skip Passover because I was thinking, I planned out my vacation for that day, for that week. Tickets were on sale. It's just lame excuses, lame reasons, right? But this is how we be in the mind. Like, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to do it because of whatever. The excuse really don't matter to the Most High. He's like, all right, cool. Go ahead, do you. But when you facing calamity, I'm going to be laughing at you. I'm going to mock you. We were talking about that last week with Og, and it's like, man, really think about that. So I'm going to laugh at your calamity. I'm going to mock you when you're in that calamity. That's Pops talking to us. Think about you telling that to your kid. I know some brothers do. Some brothers move like that, and that's the way we got to move. Because that's going to show that strength to our brothers and our young sisters. And I'm pretty sure you start appreciating it maybe like in your late 20s. A lot of the young ones are smart enough. They appreciate it right now because they look around and see how these households without proper judgment operate and how it's just chaotic, right? If you don't see it, this goes out to you, young ones. You got to really, let the Most High guide you and be thankful for having the parents that you have. Be thankful for having the people that you have around you as those right examples. Don't think, like a lot of our brothers think, because we in Egypt, you know what? As soon as I hit a certain age, I'm out. Go ahead and play with that. See how it goes. It ain't fun. Ask the ones that went and played with it and perhaps are back. Ask them, how was it? And I don't mean just kids. You could ask adults. We didn't come in. Brothers have different stories. Brothers came in at 50, 20, 14, 30, 40. Having conversations right now that we're going to be out there for a couple of days. Have those conversations with the brothers, with the sisters. You need to do these things so you could understand and get that experience. And the scriptures tell you, look, I was looking for wisdom. And that's what James is talking about. If you're really lacking wisdom, verse 5 says, if any of you lack wisdom, let them ask of the Most High. But make sure you really want it, though. Because if you don't want it, the Most High is not going to give it to you. You out here playing yourself. You're like, oh, well, I fasted for 7 days and nothing happened. Like it's just going to be, people starve for 14 days. If they ain't seeking the Most High, nothing's going to happen. If you wicked, of course it's not going to happen. He says he gives that Holy Spirit unto those that are obedient. None else. None else. Right? Let me get Proverbs, please. This is the point that I wanted to bring out. It's a big part of our downfall right here. It's Proverbs 4 and start at 20.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 20. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh.
Imagine that. That's us. We found them. This is life for us, right? We found these words. We found the message, the guidance of the Most High. It says this is life. Make sure you attend to them. Make sure you're present. Being in a seat does not mean that you're present. Right? Having your Bible open, taking notes does not mean that you're present. If your mind is not with the Most High, if your mind is not within the spirit that's being manifested at that moment, you're not there. If you're preoccupied with what's going to go down tomorrow, man, you know, what happened last week? These bills need to, man, put all that, it don't mean, those are mortal thoughts. Those are things that don't mean anything at the end of the day. I remember the first time I read that scripture in the New Testament that said, look, the birds, they don't work, but they get fed. I was like, but yeah, I need to work. And then, you know, you experience life and you're like, just today, for example, I mean, pretty much every week. Having a conversation last week with my other brothers, and I was like, man. He's like, damn, Mark, how you going to do it? I'm like, look, the Most High going to provide a way. He always does. If you put that in your mind, it's like, it's done. It's done. But, like James said, if you believe that, though. When has he not, though? You know what I mean? Like, he always comes through. That's why I said all praises that we have those people that we could count on, and vice versa. That doesn't happen out in the world. People work you, right? Use you, and then get rid of you. That's the norm out there. That's not what happens here. And if that does go down from an individual, the Most High deals with you, the way he's supposed to be dealing with you. But continue on, Ak.
Verse 23, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
That's what I want. You see, it says, keep thine heart, which we know is your mind, right? With all diligence. With all diligence. You could connect that with First Peter 5 and 8. 1 Peter 5 and 8, right? Who's roaming constantly, trying to see who he could come up on? Satan. He's always on the prowl. So then that's why the Most High, through these scriptures, through our great brothers, right, he said, keep thy mind with all diligence. Why? For out of it are the issues of life. That's what happened. That's what the brothers failed to do in Egypt. I mean, in the wilderness. They let their emotions take over. They let their doubt take over. They let Egypt and the ways of Egypt constantly call them back. That's what the scripture says. Are you a homeborn slave? What is it? There's a chapter that talks about the curse of Egypt. Our people was always missing Egypt, the food in Egypt, the ways of Egypt. But yet we were crying in Egypt. Sounds familiar, right? We don't want to be here in Babylon. We don't want to be in America. We know it's not our rest, but we don't want to do anything to get up out of here and go to where the Most High promised us. How much sense does that make? It makes no sense, right? We hate it, but yet we love it. Yeah. And that's the thing when you start going into, really understanding these scriptures, partaking of what we about to partake. All praises, I think this is the first time everybody's coming in, or at least the other states are coming in. And it's only going to get better. We in about 1.5 right now. In a minute, we're going to need 2, 3, 4, 5 acres. Imagine seeing that. I have a picture of last tabernacle. I went out away from the camp, and it looked dope. I was up in the mountains too, and you could see the whole camp laid out. We were deep. Nice. Now imagine how it's going to look this year. And we didn't have the building last year. So now imagine you have the building, everything else that's set up out there. It's going to be beautiful. And you got to look at it. I remember when we used to go to Tabletop, which is Wrightwood, which is the mountains that you don't really see from where we at, right? But you see Palmdale in front of us at the bottom. I remember brothers having conversations with like, hey, look, that's Jerusalem out there. We would reminisce, be like, damn, imagine we were that close. And that's how close we were when you read what we're going to read right now. But again, make sure you take that scripture down. It says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Perspective, family, perspective. Either you optimistic, right? And you know you're going to have a way and make a way, right? Like my brother says, either you make a way or you make excuses. Let's not make them excuses. Let's make a way. The Most High is already the way. Our forefathers were the way, right? It's been paved already. All we got to do is walk through it. Walk on and get to the, point B. That's it. So we got to make sure we guard our thoughts, we guard our minds, and really, just focus on the greatness of the Most High. It's not supposed to be grievous. Everything we do for the Most High, all these laws, all these statutes, all these feast days, they're not to be at all grievous, family. So if you have a little grievous spirit, send them up. That's another thing, prayer. I know brothers talk about it, but do you really call up? Hey, I'll send one up for me right quick, because this and this and this is happening. Hey, sis, hey, can we go ahead and pray right quick? How many of us is doing that? We need to do that. Because if you really think we're righteous, if you believe that, then why not call another righteous or a couple of righteous individuals to do so, right? Yeah, it works. Trust me. It's lovely. It gets you out of them situations, And at the end of the day, you out here having a shot with the brother, like, the water, all praises. Look, let's stick together. We build, we grow. Man, there's so many stories. I can really get take some time to have these conversations with brothers and sisters this upcoming weekend. What? Tomorrow. Whoever's going to be out there tomorrow, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sit down and talk to people. For real, though. Beautiful testimonies. Let's go back, get 14 and 28 in the book of Numbers.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 28. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. Mm-hmm. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me, doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun.
You see that? Go ahead, read all 31.
But your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised.
So it said, all you doubtful brothers and sisters, bet. That's what you want, that's what you're going to get. And I'm going to cause you to wander in this wilderness for 40 years. They were two in already. That's why we took 40 years to get to the promised land. And they didn't make it. Except Caleb and Joshua. And the generation that was coming up. Because they were not, and that shows you how important it is to safeguard your environment. The things that surround you. Because that's what made them be able to go ahead and trust in the Most High and get to the other side. That first generation, which is us, you're looking at the second and third generation right here. Well, second generation. There's just so many of them. I'll be thinking like it's already 3 in, right? But that's us. So it falls on us. The responsibility falls on us. Like, how good are we going to gird these brothers and these little sisters up? Right? Because it's like, look, listen, since you doubt it, you're going to have it your way. Read that again, huh?
But your little ones.
No, from the top. 28.
Verse 28. Say unto them, as truly as I live, saith the Lord, as ye have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you.
Again, prayers and thoughts. These brothers and sisters were negative. They said, nah, we're not going to make it. You brought us out of Egypt to die here? Really? That's what they were talking. Remember the murmuring that they were doing. Man, we could have just been in Egypt. We had it pretty good out there. You gonna tell me that there wasn't enough tombs out there to bury us out there? You could have just put us out there. Imagine, you're saying this to the Most High. You're not saying it to Moses. You're not saying it to leadership. You're saying it to the Most High. So the Most High said, all right, cool. All right, as long as I live, listen, this was gonna happen. Continue.
Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. Doubtless ye shall not come into the land, concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun.
Woo. Let that sink in. Imagine. doubtless, you are not going to make it. And you still alive. And you still in the wilderness. It's crazy. Because you could have just been obedient. You could have just been like, hey, the water, I will for the manna. The water for this water. The water for everything. The water for the cloud. You're going to be out there. It might not be hot, right? But we've been out there when it's hot, hot. Windy. Most I said, nah, I'm going to set you a cloud. Brothers really love them clouds when we be out there last week. Who was out there last week? Rakab was out there. You know, I see Ra'aya teaching. He's just pouring sweat. You see the cloud pop up like, oh, the water. I would just hold it right there for a minute. The water. He had a cloud over us every day. And we still was out here just not caring for none of that, right? Taking all of that for granted. So he says, all right, look, without a doubt, understand that you are not going to make it. It's really serious, Akim. We can't play with the Most High. Let me get Psalms 55 and 22. It's only a few more. How's everybody doing? We good?
Bless.
All praises.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved.
The what?
He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved.
So if the Most High's not looking out, right? If things are not, you out here 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, and it's just like, man. But you really got to understand, though, because a lot of times it'd be a blessed situation you in, but you're still complaining, just like the brothers we read about right now. You be blessed, you know? You might be going through some trials, but hey, the Most High said, this is how I'm going to try you. I'm going to prove you through these afflictions. So just be like, all right, is it affliction? Is it proven? Or am I slipping? And then he said, be content with what it is you have. So are you all right? You have all the necessities? Are they all, they all met? Cool, then just calm down and be happy, right? Because the Most High said, listen, if you cast your burdens on them, right? Because that's another thing. Deuteronomy 28:28 talks about, the lack of reasoning. And this is what happens with our people. We go through things, we start doubting, right? And it's our mind playing tricks on us. We in a good place, we in a good position, but it's our mind that's messing with us. And we allow that little thought to become something greater. And it's delusion, because it's really not there. It's like when you do drugs, when you take mushrooms, you start hallucinating, and it's not there. It's an illusion. And we be delusional, right? We be out here just messed up, always sad, always, in states that we're not to be. Why? Because that's what we allow for our minds to have within them, right? We allow these plagues to come in our minds. And we don't have no faith, and we don't have no hope for the Most High to get us up out of there. Remember, you got to have a balance. If you're balanced, then you're good. If you're balanced, then you're straight. Guess what? The Most High, you're able to work and do what he needs, what he requires of you. Let's finish it up with these right here. Let me get Ezekiel right quick. Ezekiel 20. Ezekiel 20 and 30. You guys could read this whole chapter on your own time, but this is just pretty much the understanding of why we were there for 40 years again. Just 30.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 20 and verse 30. Wherefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, are ye polluted after the manner of your fathers? And commit ye whoredom after their abominations? For when ye offer your gifts, when ye make your sons to pass through the fire, ye pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto this day. And shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel? As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you.
Hold up, let me see the purge part. The rebels. I ain't got my old Bible with me, but basically the scripture that I was trying to get is, was that what it was? Purge out the rebels? Yes.
Verse 38.
The water.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
There you go.
And them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
Did he not do that? Right? And it's the same thing right now. We in the wilderness right now. So he's going to purge out all the rebels. Remember how in Samuel, I think it is, he talks about being a rebel, going against the ways of the Most High is the same as witchcraft, right? And you will be put to death. He didn't just say it just to say it. Oh, maybe you think it's that deep? We should know it's that deep if we read our history. The Most High did it time after time. Oh, you want to rebel? All right, cool. He blessed the sister Miriam with what? It's a blessing at the end of the day. It's coming from the Most High. It's a recompense. Let me say it like that. Yeah, it was mercy. But just these little things. Well, I read 1 Corinthians, Yahweh Shai, man, women, husband, wife. But you know what? I'm going to just be a Miriam today. I bet. Do that. Most High's going to catch you. Most High's going to get you. And he might not be as merciful as he was with that sister. Right? And he might not be as merciful with you as he was with some of our forefathers. Remember, I think it's Sirach 5. Mercy is his. We can't play with that. A lot of us be like, you know what? He's merciful. I read in the scriptures, he says he will pardon abundantly. So you know what? I probably got a few that I could get away with. Yeah. In the same chapter in Sirach, it says, man, don't be stupid to add evil, add sin upon sin. Don't be backwards like that, all right? Let's finish it up with Esdras. Let me get 2 Ezra 7 and 56.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, and verse 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. Nevertheless, they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me which have spoken unto them, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation.
So think about this, right? Everywhere we go, you still have references about Moses. Moses is in the law, right? Moses in Deuteronomy 18 and 18 spoke. Well, the Most High spoke to Moses and he said, look, one is going to come out of your brethren, right? And whoever doesn't listen to that individual, I will require, right, from them. Luke 19:27, Yahweh Shai came forth. So no matter where you go, it's like if you don't know this history, that's why a lot of us be having issues in this walk. We come to class, we halfway listen, we go back to the routine of Egypt, right? And then we out here trying to figure it out. Like, man, some people. I've had conversations with them like, what's the difference between this religion and the other ones? In the walk for years. It's like, damn, really? This is what? Perhaps they won't use religion, but it's a lot of, hey, well, why? If you're still whying after a minute, right, of being here, you have a little faith. And you've been here in vain. And that's the thing that happens when we don't lock in. It's us. Don't blame the Most High. It's not the Most High. It's not the congregation. It's not the leaders. It's not your brothers, not your sisters. It's you. You lack that faith. You lack the discipline to really, what Proverbs 20 and 23 said, Proverbs 4 and 23, to really look out, to safeguard. He used defense twice. And when you look into those words that he was that he used is like, man, they go so deep that I said it last time. We love to roam around without hedges, hedgeless. No defenses, but yet we want to be protected, right? We walk away from the congregation. We walk away from our families. We go into this Egypt, into this place where we're just a prey. And that's another point. I know Yashamar brought it up and brings it up several times when he speaks. It's about not understanding that when you got excommunicated from Israel, you were a prey at that time. The other nations, they weren't out here like, oh yeah, come through, let me help you. Like, oh, that you an Israelite? Come through. Let me take advantage of you right quick. Which happened when you look at the so-called, all the slave, what do you call it? Situations that we had back in the day. Captivities, but just not that, just the way they taken advantage of us, right? Is that scripture in Sirach? Again, if you are of any profit for them, they will use you. And then just get rid of you like you nothing. Yep, Sirach 13. So I'm gonna conclude with that, Israel. I hope that, and that's that chapter 2. Take your time to read that chapter, because it says, many were created, but only, many were created, but only a few will make it. Many were created in this world, but only a few will make it to the next, which is the promised land. So again, remember, let's be joyous, let's enjoy, let's celebrate, let's have fun this evening, Israel. Shalom.
If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on